Miss Huynh Tieu Huong, a mom of over 350 children, founder and owner of the shelter Que Hong Humanitarian Center, in spite of having been tasted her life's countless bitters with memories and injustice, she currently sees that the very time perhaps makes her feel more lonely and exhausted than ever before. Her sadness is not due to difficulty or the lack of material basis at all, because her shelter has still grown up firmly and steadily. Her children have been well educated, nourished, and very docile. And as of herself, although her health is gradually declining, she still finds it fit enough for her to guerrilla shuttle between the United States and Vietnam for both medical treatment and money earning to bring up her children. Thus, what has made the mom of hundreds of children feel lonely, cold, and jealous along the journey of love sharing? It is the indifference and the insensitiveness among the folk in this life that is gradually widening, and the space for affection, sharing, and mutual understanding stays increasingly sunk to such a desponding extent that someone has said that the coldest place is not the Arctic, but the place in which human affection is not present. In life, we occasionally see some person's tragedy because they can't stand the pressure of pieces of slander and public opinion, though the truth has not been exposed. And she, mother of hundreds of children, has been struggling with the feeling of being scorned and estranged for the past long years, with her hit of loneliness when her friends and relatives are one after another leaving her. It has been somebody's spiteful news from the social media and some eloquent promises of some magnates in the press that many people have had a completely different view of her, considering her a conscienceless mom and a scammer who has got a giant huge sum and then embezzled and made it her own one, being obviously of caring for the children. Being bitterly painful, she still tries to keep silent and enduring the mortal's wrath which really devastates her heart on a daily basis, because she only needs her children to see her through and love her, and her conscience feels peaceful and relaxed being with them. And above all, she wants to save the reputation and practice of those who have made her promises to her, because they are her benefactors anyway. But the more she keeps silent and patient, the more belly up she goes, being pushed into the dark corner without any escapes. The tragedy that really happened to Miss Tieu Huong and her children was probably from the promise of the female magnate called Huynh Tieu Huong, made during the grand wedding of her son on December the 29th of 2012 in the mountainous town of Hương Sơn District, Hà Tĩnh Province. The wedding reached nearly 4,000 guests, with a large and powerful car fleet to meet the bride and bring her home, as well as overseas and domestic famous singers. According to various sources of information, this wedding ceremony costed the owner tens of millions of Vietnam dong. Everyone did praise and admire such a unique wedding in the mountainous village of Hương Sơn, not only because of its grandness and lavishness, but also because of the source of information misleading stated at the wedding ceremony that some newspapers did subsequently report. The businesswoman confirmed that all the lucky money for the wedding's bride and groom, estimated at the over 50 billion Vietnam dong, will be set aside as donations to Que Hong Humanitarian Center in Bình Province, founded and directed by Miss Huynh Tieu Huong. It is thought the life of the orphaned and disabled children in Que Hong shelters will be further warmed up, and the future will be further widened when they are going to get the donations of the female magnate from the mountainous village. Knowing Miss Liu's promise in her son's wedding, Miss Tieu Huong also nurtures further new plans for her children, such as to renovate the role of degraded grooms, to further build schools for her children, to have one-side study right in the center. But the delight and hope of Miss Tieu Huong and her children faded down suddenly when Miss Liu promised really feels like 5 words butter, no parsnips, no more, no less. Press did report the news, and everybody clearly understands that Quê Hương Humanitarian Center has received such a huge supportive sum. So every day, Miss Huong always receives both the congratulatory phone calls and lamentations from sad loads of needy and miserable folks from everywhere who are looking forward to being helped. Because they know how she is good-hearted and generous by nature. Whenever she has money, she does not spare her donations to everyone, especially the misfortunate. They have thousands of reasons to come to her after they knew such the news, ranging from disease healing, home renovating, paying for the children tuition, to business doing and trading. In spite of certain extent did she try to express her inner feelings, they did not believe the promise was just an empty one. So some people did sing another tune and smear her as well as draw baseless inference to her. They claim that Miss Tieu Huong is making full use of the name of charitable benefactions to appropriate the sum for her self-interest, and that Miss Tieu Huong is a woman full of jiggery-pokery. Now 5 years have gone by, but many people still have an aversion to her because of this case. Some people also call on their friends, relatives to boycott Quê Hương Humanitarian Center and Miss Huynh Tieu Huong. Physical difficulties are probably meaning nothing compared to the sling or children that she has suffered for many years. She always wonders herself, what have I done wrong to take such a scorn and contempt of this mortal? When are these pressures going to let me go? A person having relatives and cousins as I am, a person who has devoted all of love and wealth to my children as I am, then who, where and what my self-interest is dedicated to. But then before long has she realized that throughout her lifespan, for countless times has she been bullied, tortured and insulted both physical and mentally, but then she has still got through all of them. It is unlikely such the understanding that can make her give up. No matter what goes on, she has to stand up and goes beyond herself. Apart from the promise of Miss Nguyễn Thị Liễu, for the last 15 years, Miss Tieu Huong and her children have received countless promises from various visitors to the center, and then they have happened to forget right after her leaving the center. That is the promise from the charity organization of An Thiện Nhân, a non-governmental charity organization in India, which has pledged to donate 70 billion Vietnam dong for the center's infrastructure expansion, or the promise of Hiệp Dương real estate company has made to give its monthly donation of 100 million Vietnam dong to join efforts to raise the children. These virtual promises have increasingly made the community believe that Miss Tieu Huong was financially plentiful. And consequently, subsequent relief and support activities to the center are also becoming sparser and scarcer. Even many of her longtime friends and benefactors have left her gradually. The burdens of clothes, meals and money have been thus growing heavier and heavier with Miss Tieu Huong. Despite the heat of difficulties, she and her partners have been determined to overcome this challenge. Miss Tieu Huong tries to handle more things such as trading desks and chairs, opening restaurants to earn further money for the center's spending. Deep in her heart core, there's always lie a thought that, with or without the social community's support, she is going to manage to maintain Quê Hương Humanitarian Center with all her efforts. Now, even though the truth has been exposed and the whole community has seen through her heart and suffering, almost every day does she also get some bad stuff about her. Sometimes they said Miss Tieu Huong has taken full advantages of charitable benefactions to entice some wealthy magnates. And another time they said she has stripped the kids of their money for her self-interest. and they even say that she is in the police blacklist because she has been sponsored by foreign reactionary organizations. Sometimes they call her just to revile, insult her, and then quickly hung up the phone. But she probably feels saddened by her children's questions. Mom, why have they said you are a bad mom and a defrauder? I do not want them to keep saying such things as this. All have made her heart more thrilled. After all the tragic storm and stress converging on her, her belief in the moral and the life is also becoming more fragile and worn out as years keep gliding by. She is understandably sad and weary in body and mind, but it is something sure enough that Miss Tieu Huong is never going to give up and never leave her children. It is just because of a simple thing that the children are her priceless treasure, and her life's joy and recent death as well. We hope that the social community, before importing a mistake to the mother of hundreds of children, Huynh Tieu Huong, or undervalue her work, please take pains to find out her work for a long time, about the life, the activities, and the study of almost 350 children at Que Huong Shelter. Being parentless has made the children's life suffered for many losses and disadvantages. The children are the cost human beings, having the all rights to live, to be loved, and to be in pursuit of happiness. If you or we can neither love the children nor live up their dreams, then please do not leave them more vulnerable by anything further pernicious. They desperately want to live peacefully by their mother Tieu Huong and their great family of Que Huong to grow up daily. The social understanding, sympathy, and sharing towards Miss Tieu Huong is surely going to feed them with more strength and motivation for her to keep surviving and making sacrifices for her children and feeling no longer lonely along the humanitarian journey down the road.